Okay, we are back, continuing on our conversations with purpose, helping our churches, ministries, partners, and missionaries navigate through crisis. We have had such a whirlwind of events over the last couple of weeks, and we're all, I feel like we're over communicating in a good way. We're having to make sure everybody knows what's happening, all the adjustments and the changes. And we want to just talk about communication. I'm joined with my friend Miko. You guys got to meet her in our last session from Live the Life. Miko, how's it going today?
I am great. So excited to be with you. Even though it's virtual, it's still a pleasure.
Yes, yes. So we all have had some good practice in communicating over the last couple of weeks of just what's going on around us, what's going on with our friends, our family, our work. I feel like a lot of us are using a lot of words, but I'm not sure that we're communicating. That's what my husband often feels like. I use a lot of words, but I'm not sure if I'm communicating. And communicating isn't just information. It's about being present. It's about listening. It is about just processing with the person and being intentional and clear expectations, so much more. And that's why we have Miko here. Miko is with Live the Life. They focus on marriage and family resources for the church. They are one of our partners, and we have just enjoyed digging into how churches can take these same tools and resources and use them with their ministry partners, their missionaries, their overseas workers, both near and far, not just overseas. Yeah. And one of the things we want to focus on today is communication. So Miko, talk to us a little bit about how we can communicate through this time of crisis.
Absolutely. You know, if you are in a stress relationship, marital, parent to child, sibling, mother, if you're, your parents maybe are living with you, it could add all of this togetherness could add fuel to the fire, if you will. So this is an opportunity for our relationships to thrive and not just survive the coronavirus epidemic.
Yes. We like that word, thrive. Yes.
Yes. One of my favorite quotes is by a gentleman called David Augsburger. And he said, being heard is so close to being loved that for the average person, they are almost indistinguishable. What he is saying, if you give the gift of listening, it translates to most people as love. Isn't that beautiful?
We all want to be heard. Yes.
Yes. And listening, to your point, Stephanie, is not just about hearing. Listening, true and effective listening is a learned skill. We can hear what someone is saying, but are we really listening to them? And listening goes beyond just the words. It's listening beyond the words to the heart of what someone is saying. It is
why are they saying that? Yeah.
It's picking up on their emotions. And once people are able to name their emotions, many times the emotions, especially if it's a negative emotion, it loses its power. So how can we do that? Well, a couple of little tips. One is making eye contact with people. If I'm looking at you, that communicates that I'm interested. I value you. I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
If I match your energy and mood. So if your energy and mood is here and I'm down here, that's not really going to communicate that I'm listening or that you're valued. So I want to match your mood wherever it is. I want to match your mood. I also want to be engaged in nonverbal communication. So it could be, a head nod. It could be me leaning in to get a little closer. So all of that factors into great and effective communication. So let's kind of break it down. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Well, it's such a critical time because we're all kind of going through this transition. We're all on this up and down roller coaster of change rapidly, and
Yes.
something that happened yesterday is not going to be the same for today. We've got many of our overseas workers that are hopping on the last plane to get out of their country, or they can't leave. They can't leave their home. They can't get food or enough food to last for their quarantining or their lockdown time. They're not getting to the people. So many emotions, like you're saying. And if we're not recognizing that, we're not going to be able to connect and show them the love and the care, not just give an answer, but really just be there and navigate through these waters with them. So paying attention and, through the Zoom or whatever you're using, eye
Yes.
contact as much as you possibly can. Yeah. Lean in. I love it. My grandmother was a leaner. She always leaned in, and I was like, why is she doing that? And as I got older, I was like, because she's paying attention. She's zoned in. It's like she put everything else behind her, and she's just right there with us. The sun just
Absolutely.
went down. It's just got so dark in this room.
I can still
So
see you.
tell us some of the things. Give us some tips for us to lean in these
Yes.
conversations that we're having with our partners and missionaries and ministry partners.
Absolutely. One is to be present, because
Yeah.
my physical body could be in the room and you could be talking to me and I could be facing you, but maybe my mind is somewhere else. Maybe I'm on my phone. Maybe I'm on my computer. So I'm not really being present. Being present means I'm listening, I'm engaged, I'm acknowledging, I'm offering those nonverbal cues. So
Yeah.
I am giving you all of me in this moment. That is such a beautiful gift.
Not thinking about all of the crisis that's going on in your world, and I gotta remember that too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because what this does, there's a hormone called dopamine. It's the feel-good hormone. And when we feel loved, when our needs are met, it releases that feel-good hormone. Dopamine is released. And Lord knows we could use more of that right now. Okay.
We need some feel-good stuff.
Yes, we do. So being present, so that's one. Number two, share up your appreciations for your loved ones. Everyone needs to know that there's something good about them, that they are valuable, that they have positive attributes. And who better to hear that from than the people in your family that you love, that you are confined with. So an appreciation doesn't have to be something grand. It could be something small. Like for my husband and I have been married for 21 years. His name is Christopher. Yes. And so it could be something like, Christopher, I appreciate you taking out the trash. When on trash pickup days, I never have to think about it. That is something that you do to serve our family, and I appreciate you for that. Very simple, something that we probably take for granted, right?
Well, especially in this time where there's a lack of motivation, because some of us are not having to get up to go to work, or we're not able to do the ministry or the thing that we're called to, and we're losing a little bit of who we are.
Yes.
And maybe even our purpose of doing it. So those reminders that I am valuable to somebody, I have purpose and plan. What great things that we need to be encouraging other people with these affirmations. Yeah.
Yes. And your children. I have one daughter. We have 3 children, and one of my children is a lover. She likes, being around you and with you. And my appreciation to her would be, thank you for coming and spending time with me as I worked, or thank you for coming and sitting next to me, or just being in the room with me. I love your energy. That made me feel good. So again, it could be something simple, but could mean the world to the other person.
Her thing. It was her thing. Yeah. And just acknowledging it. Good.
Yes. So let's walk through a technique, I think, that will help everyone to be able to be a very engaged, maybe active listener. It's a communication technique that Stephanie is going to help me to demonstrate. So Stephanie, I would like for you to share something with me. I want you to talk for about 45 seconds or so and just tell me about something that's important to you. It could be something you're happy about or sad about. It doesn't matter. I just need you to talk to me, and I'm going to actively listen, if you will. Okay?
We'll take the topic at hand, missions and partnership, that we love going. So my partnership journey started because I wanted other people to experience the relationship that Jesus had, and I didn't want to do it by myself. I loved how God was working, and I loved when I saw churches get involved with their missionaries, and I loved that they were seeing lives changed and they were personally a part of it as well. So it wasn't just the missionaries doing the work, but the churches getting involved with the missionaries as well.
Are you saying that you wanted the church as a body to be the hands and feet of Christ to those who were out sharing the gospel with others?
Yes, yes.
And that, are you saying that that brings you or makes you feel excited and invigorated? Like I'm looking at your face, and your face just lit up.
Yes, we always talk about when mission teams come home, because they got to experience it. They were there, not just watching other people do it, but they were doing it. We got to use the resources and the gifts and the tools that God gave us. And when we match those things, our purpose with our abilities, whoo, it's like sparks ignite, and we get to experience God in a whole new way.
Are you saying that the synergy of the church plus the missionary could accomplish more collectively than just one of those elements on its own?
Yes, I love it. And we desire for the churches to have that engagement. We desire for the churches to be physically a part of the lives, the care, the ministry that their churches, that their missionaries are having, both near and far.
Are you saying you would like churches to be very engaged and hands-on with equipping those who are on the ground, serving in a missionary capacity, and just, again, being the hands and feet of Christ and loving on those missionaries as well?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Now, Stephanie, did you feel like I was paying attention?
Yeah, you were feeding back into me, because you were hearing what I was saying and then kind of taking it to the next and adding some things.
Okay, so then I also understood what you were saying.
Yes.
Right. Did you feel like I felt your feelings and that I understood your feelings?
You seemed to show some excitement when I was excited about it, and yeah, so I could feel that.
Great. Okay, so I would like to just kind of unpack what you just saw, because
Okay.
that is the goal. When we are in communication, we want, being an active listener, we want the other party to feel valued, heard, and understood. Now, I utilized the phrase every time I responded to Stephanie. Stephanie, do you know what that phrase or two phrases were?
It was so what you're saying, or what I feel like you're saying or implying. Oh, I'm still working on my listening skills, Migo.
That's okay. That's okay. Most of the time, the ear doesn't pick it up, but it was, are you saying? Are you saying you feel?
Yes.
Now, that's all I did. I did not say, so are you saying? Because so denotes judgment and could come across as combative. It's,
okay.
Are you saying you feel? So what that does is, number one, if you communicated a message to me that I did not process and relay back the way you intended, you could then tell me, well, no, that's not what I said, or that's not what I meant. And you could correct or rephrase or restate what you said, so that then I could paraphrase it back. Every time I paraphrase back, I'm looking for you to say, yes, that is what I said. Okay. Also, if you stated something that maybe you didn't intend to, or now you can rephrase it. stated.
Yeah.
Okay, so it works both ways, but now we know that we are in sync, that we're on the same page, and doing it in a way that's conversational.
And you got to be, because if you're not on the same page, you're having two different conversations and nothing is going to get accomplished.
That's right, because it opens the room for people to be offended, misunderstood. And so also notice in my paraphrasing back, I did not offer any judgment. I wasn't defensive. I didn't try to fix it. I didn't offer or interject my opinions. It was just reflecting back what you were saying so that you felt heard, acknowledged, and understood. It's a very great.
No, I was going to say, and I appreciated it.
You are most welcome. It is a very simple communication technique, but very, very powerful and profound. When I started implementing this in my conversation, it was a game changer, in particular for relationships that seem to be more stressful. So I have an adult daughter. We're very much alike, and we would bump heads quite often. And I realized that a lot of her frustration with me was she didn't feel heard, and I would cut her off. When I implemented this technique, it opened up a new world in our relationship, and really was significant. And so I learned something, and our relationship changed. Now, she is still a teenager. She is still who she is, but I was the one that made the shift, and it significantly impacted our relationship in a positive way.
And in that method, you're actually asking them questions. We love it when people ask us questions about us and our thoughts and our feelings. And so you're just fueling into the leaning in to them. So you're revisiting what they said, but you're allowing them to continue to give knowledge and kind of drive a little bit, which is
absolutely
awesome. Yes. I think this is important. We're in this time where we're needing to communicate more, and in a crisis time, it's important that we get the information correct as it's transferring people and resources. And so paying better attention, paying attention to the people that we're communicating with will definitely give them the affirmation that they need, but also help us as caregivers to better understand what they need. If we're having to make decisions with them or even for them, depending on their location, we're going to be so much more informed if we're listening well. So thank you.
May I say one more thing, Stephanie, as we're having this conversation, is in the midst of a dialogue, sometimes a person could be communicating or sharing, and we're, paraphrasing back, and we're not getting it, then I would encourage you as the listener to offer these prompts. Tell me more. Help me to understand. So you're inviting the other person to help you understand. And you're also letting them know that I am here and I want to connect with you. I want to understand what it is you're communicating with me.
Yeah, because especially if we're in two different worlds.
Yes.
We're not understanding. We still can go to the store. We can still get resources. Yes. But hey, we have people that they're not getting anything. It's going to be very different. And it's important that we're helping them understand the plight and the places where they are, and listening is going to allow us to do that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for
continuing
the conversation with purpose and helping us communicate more efficiently. These are things that we should do on a normal basis, but right now we've got to focus deep because of the crisis at hand around us. So thank you for helping us lean in to listen, to affirm, and to tune into what people are saying so that we can better care for and with each other. So thank you, Mika. Live the Life has got great resources. You guys continue to check out Live the Life. Miko, tell us where we can get that.
Yes, livethelife.org/NEFL. Our phone number is 904-374-6365. We are offering free hour-and-a-half coaching sessions, and we have discounted our hourly rate after that. So we would love to hear from you and to serve you and your family.
Thank you, Miko. Appreciate it. And we'll continue the conversation with Miko and the conversations of purpose. I believe we're going to go through a tool of how to communicate. And we're also going to talk about parenting during this time that we're in close proximity with all of the children at the same time. So we'll look forward to hearing from those in the next conversation. Thank you, Miko.
My pleasure.